Welcome back, kiddies, to another episode of RatG TV with your hosts, Zeus and the Welland Wingnut. And they thought I was the crazy one.
Black magic. You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
Welcome back, long time no see, geeks. It's your boy Zeus, and with me, as he is every week, a little more clean shaven. It's the Welland Wingnut himself, Steve Lambert. How's it going, brother?
What's going on, man?
Was it that time of the year where Amber was like, shave that shit off your face?
Right. We have an agreement. I think it's once or twice a year she gets to see my face.
Right.
But I have to make sure I have the beard for con season because I don't like being photographed otherwise.
I like his beard, but it's been very dry and it's picky. So I said,
I need to start to do the beard oils.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And as you hear there, folks, that is the voice of Facebook user 3675409. I know.
Baby, I got your number.
And her name's not even Jenny.
Oh,
Amber. Let me first start off by saying, how about them Wolverines?
Yeah, that was a pretty good game.
I mean, it was Colorado. But we'll take it. We'll take it.
Did you see the upset with Old Dominion upsetting Virginia Tech?
No.
Almost 15 years to the day of Appalachian State upsetting the Michigan Wolverines, who were 33-point favorites that day.
Why you bring that shit up? Why you gotta be doing that? I was just on this high about us having this big shutout victory today, and I even tried to play it cool, be like, it's only Colorado State, and then you gotta show that shit to me.
Well,
we have today.
We have LSU. Florida State has LSU tomorrow, so.
Are you guys still in the Big Ten?
Barely.
All right. What's going on, Luke? Long time no see, buddy. This is too early. I'm only a bit drunk. Hi, guys. Hope you are well. Yeah, we got on a little early today, earlier than normal. I have to pick up my son from work, so we came on. And it's been a few weeks. I was off for 2 weeks in the hospital, and then we had Steve was away for Rammstein in Montreal. And then we had Comic-Con last week, which was pretty much a blast. It went off really well. But, I mean, it was packed in there.
It was. And I'd say we had a lot of highlights. And the one low light was, and we were right down there, too. We were one aisle over from the Pokeroo, and we missed them.
oh no.
Again? Oh, man. I always miss that Pokeroo. You ever notice on that show it's only the girl that sees Pokeroo?
Right.
I think Pokeroo's sexist. What?
That's real.
Wait, what? Shut your mouth. Next you're gonna tell me it was really the dude when he leaves. As if like Clark Kent's really Superman.
He wears glasses.
Right. Well, we had a good time there. Now Niagara Falls Comic-Con, we went and we saw Kevin Smith and Jay Muse, and Kevin Smith was late for the photo ops, and you got your photo ops with him that time. So he had offered any type of photo that you wanted, and this is the photo you chose.
Right.
I
felt a big responsibility to the geek community to really, really step up my photo op game.
Right. Well, this year came along, and you were wearing a shirt.
I took one for the team, as they say.
You wore the shirt though that had that actual picture on it,
right.
And you and I both went for the photo ops, and I was wearing a blazer and shorts, so naturally I looked like Kevin Smith somehow, the darker version. And they remembered your picture and immediately said that it had to be redone, but with a little bit of a switch here.
Right. I had requested that Jay be the one on his knees this time. And I don't know if he was that willing. I think Kevin kind of coaxed him along.
No, really, eh? Well, I got to tell you, that was fun.
I'm just kidding. Jay was a good sport.
I'm still waiting for Kevin Smith to tag me in that selfie that he did, because he was impressed with my cosplay, which really was just a blazer that you picked up
and my hat.
And your hat.
I picked out.
Yeah. That Facebook user 3672-87409. How was the gob job, mate?
Like I said, there's nothing I won't do for you guys. So
right. Well, I won't do that. I'm much like Meatloaf. And same in belly size. But yeah,
that wasn't it.
What do you mean that wasn't it?
We got to meet someone that had we not had been not had a lighter, as
right. We didn't have a lighter to smoke a joint when we were outside, and we asked some random guy. We asked him if we can borrow a lighter, and he ended up working the trauma table, which we've seen the trauma table many times, and it's just some people representing Uncle Lloyd Kaufman. You have to call him Uncle Lloyd. You can't just call him Lloyd Kaufman. But one of the originators in gore horror. I mean, he was a guerrilla film director as well. No permits, things like that. But Nukem High, Toxic Avenger. I mean, this is the dude. This is the dude that trained James Gunn. Yes, that James Gunn. So we're kind of gushing to this guy talking about how much we like Uncle Lloyd, and we're like, too bad he's not here. He's like, actually, he is here, and they didn't advertise it. How does Fan Expo not advertise that Uncle Lloyd was
right? A legend in the game.
So this guy, we ended up sharing a joint with him, just being nice Canadians that we are. And he's like, make sure you come back to the table, and we'll make sure that you get to meet Uncle Lloyd. And sure enough, we went back, and they delivered. And Uncle Lloyd was impressed with your shirt as well.
He was. Look at the smile on my face. It's hard to, we get to do these things all the time. So, it's hard to impress. Like, not that I'm saying that I have to be impressed, but we don't often get starstruck, I guess is what I'm trying to say anymore.
Right.
We've mingled with these guys long enough that we've learned to just treat them like people. But I mean, getting to meet Lloyd freaking Kaufman.
I mean, I'm trying to think of who we've really fangirled over. And I don't know that we really have. Have we?
First time I met Bruce, I was pretty starstruck.
Yeah. And I was with
Amber as well.
Really?
She definitely would have left me that day if Bruce had asked.
Yep.
Groovy.
And at the trauma table, the guy who actually took our picture was he was the drummer. Well, one of the many drummers of
Little Pig, let me in.
Uh-huh.
Wait, no, was he Green Jelly?
Yeah, he was the Green Jelly drummer, and I'm sitting there like I know this guy, and I couldn't put my thumb on it, and then it hit me. I'm like, when I was on stage when they played at the Brew House in Niagara Falls as one of the pigs, he was the drummer, and I took a selfie. And I showed the picture. He's like, you gotta send me that.
Which is awesome. Little pig, let me in. So all in all, Comic-Con was a hit. We didn't get any interviews. We didn't really. It was so weird. Every year with Fan Expo, they tell us we have to submit in writing who we want to do interviews with, and then they'll let us know if we're approved for them. We get there the day of, and we ask them, as we're supposed to, and they're like, nothing yet, but we'll text you. But if it comes to any of the voice actors that you guys asked for, just go up and ask them. And I mean, some of these voice actors had bigger lineups than some of the guys from Sons of Anarchy. Like Troy Baker's lineup was stupid long, which is great.
The one guy my son wanted to meet, I mean, I've met him before, but I was looking forward to meeting him again, was from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Chicken Man.
Giancarlo?
Giancarlo Esposito, but his line was packed all day long.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But without a doubt, the biggest lineup there was Joseph Quinn, the kid from Stranger Things, season 4 that played Eddie.
He had his own wing.
He had his own wing. And not only that,
excuse me.
So photo ops, all the photo ops took place in one section, except for his. His took place downstairs by himself, and he kept adding more and more, which, I mean, was really cool of him because he didn't have to do that. I only noticed one person that was behind a plastic shield at their table. Did you notice anybody?
I didn't know.
You know who it was? The only person not taking selfies either. Charlie Hunnam.
Wow.
From Sons of Anarchy. But to be fair, I don't know of him doing any other cons ever.
Yeah.
I think this is his first one, like not just in Canada, not just in North America. I think this may have been his first convention ever.
You may be right. I think he may have been there the year they had Katie Seagal, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah, I just don't remember because I remember it being a big deal for a lot of people seeing that he was there this year. But Shatner's line was surprisingly short. I mean, and Carl Weathers was charging $350 for him to sign memorabilia. By far the biggest price tag of any celebrity there this weekend. Do you think he got it?
I'm sure he got a few people. Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of who was bigger in the last few years. And I can think of like Michael J. Fox and Mark Hamill were around the 220 range.
Right. But was that for memorabilia or for a photo?
That was just for a photo op or autograph. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know, man. I don't know. But hey, what I would like to see is them maybe change the venue somewhere where it's a little more wide open, not just two different buildings, because we were downstairs just before we left and we were down in the comic book section and there were 4 escalators to get upstairs and 3 of them were down.
I mean, do you think if they had the whole field, Skydome could facilitate that?
I mean, the damage that would be done to the Skydome, though. And I think that's too wide open. I think you do need some type of sectioned off areas, but yeah, I don't know. I think, honestly, Niagara Falls has got it pretty good. Niagara Falls does it pretty well. And they're all in one section. So maybe Skydome. What about is Maple Leaf Gardens still a building?
No, it's shared by Ryerson University has half of it, and it's the Loblaws is the other half. Best lunch in town.
Oh yes, obviously.
Loblaws?
Loblaws hot counter.
Oh, it's freaking amazing.
Oh yeah, my favorite. I love their vegan bologna and Swiss.
Oh, they have all kinds of amazing vegetables and meat dishes, and it's something else.
And the fried cheese.
Oh damn! Well, now I'm getting hungry, except for the fried cheese part. Well, even that, just a little.
They haven't had that the last couple of times we were there.
They did, but it was a hot one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I want the maple bacon one.
So today we've got a big show. We are talking best sequels and or prequels, if you will, in TV or movie history. If you've got something you want to tell us about, let us know in the comments. We'll post them up there. And yeah, get your comments up there before Luke gets them in there, because I'm telling you, Luke is lubed up tonight. That's for sure. And I mean in the drinking.
How many prequels?
In other ways, I don't know.
Have?
What's that?
How many prequels and sequels does Blumhouse currently have to pick from?
I don't know about sequels, but they got a lot of fucking reboots.
Yeah.
They've been doing really well though. Like I feel like they're expanding now, even away from the horror, not going away from horror, but expanding out into different areas. So that's pretty cool. Hey, it's our boy Daniel Vandesen. As I'm the second kid, I am the best sequel. Would your parents say that? Would they agree? You're definitely our favorite out of you and your sibling. I mean, we didn't even know you had a sibling. So, I mean, but you're definitely our favorite. You're our favorite Van Descent. Oh, actually, you're not. Abigail's our favorite. Have you seen his?
I thought you were gonna say Steven Van Zandt from the E Street Band.
Oh shit, you're third.
Oh, you're awful, you guys.
You're number one in my books, buddy.
Over his own kid. Have you seen how cute that kid is? His daughter's this little sweetie. Right on. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about sequels, prequels, and of course, we've got news for you later on. And Steve has got his 5-second movie review. And Steve, what do you got for us this week?
Yeah, we were talking about Blumhouse and my 5-second movie review this week. It's a little older, but we haven't been here in a while, and I really want to get this one out. So I'm doing The Black Phone.
I feel like we didn't do this one already.
I did not.
Or maybe you and I just
teased it.
about it.
We teased it.
We did tease it.
And then we took a few weeks off.
We did. It was my fault.
We did another movie for review that week.
Listen, I was willing to do the show from the ER bed.
He was.
I was in a lot of pain though. He was. Steve was there. But yeah, so that's what's going to happen. But first, we're going to do like we always do, and we're going to start off the show ranking our top 5 each of our favorite sequels when it comes to movies or television. Like I said, sequels, prequels, whatever. But Steve, you start us off as you do every week, brother.
Yeah, and I like to keep my list under wraps until the very last second, so that's why you see me out here. I went off the grid for this one, and
Friday the 13th, part 1.
Borrowed a friend's cabin, so it's good. It's good.
Is that a cabin in the woods? Sorry. All right. What do you got? What's number 5 on your list?
Number five. I actually had all movies at first, and then I forgot you had said movies and TV. So right away, 2 came to mind. And I actually had one of the movies on your list, and I dropped that movie for this show. And man, I'm pissed it got canceled. I was really hoping someone else was going to pick it up so we could get a proper ending to this one. But Hannibal was fucking great.
Yeah, really.
I didn't think I'd ever believe anybody as Hannibal other than Anthony Hopkins. And
Matt's kicked it out of the park, eh?
Matt's killed it.
Or even knocked it out of the park, if you will. Mark Perry joining in, watching us on Twitter. That's right. We are on Twitter as well, folks. You can see our handles on the bottom of the screen there. You can follow us at any of those. If you follow us on, or if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're not, go over to YouTube, like and subscribe. It just helps us with our algorithms and getting everything up. We do appreciate it. I still haven't seen Hannibal, but I know how much you loved it.
I actually didn't watch I watched about 2 episodes of the final season, and then we got the news that it was going to be canceled at the end of this run, and I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the final season for I think 3 or 4 years. I finally watched it on Netflix, and yeah, it was good, but we definitely needed another season.
All right, well, what do you got up next, buddy?
Next, I didn't realize. I mean, I didn't know where. Obviously, there's adjoining character, so I knew it was part of the same verse, but I wasn't sure about the timeline, and I didn't know this was a prequel to Clerks.
Mallrats?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was a prequel as well. I knew it was in the same universe.
Yeah.
The Askew universe, and Jay and Silent Bob are the only ones from Clerks that are in this one, I believe.
So yeah,
the actors are, but they're different characters.
Right. So yeah, I don't think he has any other actual prequels per se, but definitely his best one. One of his, obviously the characters Jay and Silent Bob is what's made his career, and we love him for it. Almost like a big hug, you know.
I'm always so shocked when we listen to Kevin Smith talk about Mallrats, and he talks about how it bombed. And I never, ever remember it bombing, because I just remember us loving this movie. And I remember going to Bonanza or Blockbuster and just re-renting this movie over and over and over again. I watched it more times than I watched Clerks. Like, to me, I like Clerks a lot, but Mallrats, That's where it was at. Like that was.
But yet you still
that was
introduced
my-
Jeremy London as TS.
What's
Or
that?
TC.
Yeah, that was a fun panel to host.
It was. Both of them.
Was it? Or was it just fun for you to go smoke with him afterwards? Thanks for the invite, by the way, Dick.
That was fun, I felt a little guilty afterwards.
You make me have to sit through that whole panel having to try to keep wraps on that guy. And then you go out and smoke a joint without me with
What
him.
about the blonde chick too? Remember?
Oh,
that was off the
Terry
rails,
Reynolds.
Ryan. That was
Oh my God.
hilarious.
Never
I'm
mind.
dying.
Never mind. You thought Terry was bad there. Terry, who played Marlena, who's Marlena in WWF, the manager and ex-wife of Goldust. Her panel, that was a tough one to keep control of. But she did our CWF show or our Crossfire show the next day.
The next day. That's
and
right.
she went off there too. She went off script. She would. Oh my God! It was as they say in the business. She went into business for herself. It was a shit show. I love her. She's great. She's funny as fuck. But oh my God! And that dog, she goes everywhere with her.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. I was just dying while you're watching. Like, this is so off the rails.
Oh yeah.
I was laughing. I felt that after, but it was funny. But
Constantine show with Matt Ryan should have had more than one season. Agreed, but that was NBC's fault, and NBC should have never had control of that. That should have been a Netflix show from day one with Matt Ryan, because Constantine is a incredibly dark comic book that comes from the mind of Neil Gaiman. It was an offshoot of Sandman, and yeah, it's dark. Like it's witchcraft stuff and hardly any superhero stuff, and yeah, it's dark. It's dark. Anyway, speaking of dark, let's get to Steve's next pick. I don't know why.
Yeah, not to give too many spoilers, but if you haven't seen the finale of Better Call Saul yet, it was a pretty dark ending. Not what I saw coming. Loved the show. Loved Breaking Bad. I always said Breaking Bad for me is the most complete show from beginning to end. It had the most satisfying finale of any show I've ever watched. But I really liked Saul more because I think Bob Odenkirk, obviously, love Bob, and the writing was just so good on this one. So
yeah, and I've heard what's his name, Terry Gilliam, the showrunner for both, say that he has a more of an affinity for the Better Call Saul. And he said that the more times he goes back and watches Breaking Bad, the more he hates Walter White. That's me from day one with that show. From day fucking one. And the only person I like on the show is the guy that I think everybody hates, which is his kid.
no,
who's going to be at Hamilton Comic Con?
Right. So you get that panel.
My next two are very near and dear to my heart, being the big Star Wars geek that I am. I argue to try and tell me that this is not a contender for the best Star Wars movie ever made.
Yeah, it's up there, man. It's definitely up there in the top three, I think.
For sure.
Yeah. It changes from person to person. I think the top three Star Wars movies are Rogue One, Empire, and right there.
Yeah.
That one. The third.
Revenge
of the Sith. Thank you.
Revenge.
Yeah.
And my number one, I mean, it's hard pressed to find a bigger Bruce Campbell fan.
Me too, Daniel.
Well, we need a Jar Jar spinoff. That's all I'm saying.
Well, did you catch the last comment there that he found Breaking Bad boring?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that from more than a few people. So yeah,
it's very intense.
Yeah, but anyways, your number one, which
my number one, as you see, inspired my background today. One of my all-time favorite franchises, one of my all-time favorite actors, Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead 2, the greatest sequel ever made. Which is weird because number one did so well compared to the budget. It was like a $300,000 budget. I mean, made like $30 million. The second one was like a $3 million budget, made like $6 million. But the second one is it's basically the first one redone because people watch the first one and they're like, ha, 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 ha. They're like, no, that wasn't supposed to be funny. They're like, all right, let's do that again, but let's go for funny this time.
Right. Shit.
And it worked.
We should have done our worst sequels and prequels as well. That's a much harder list to put together, though, because there's so many. This was hard to do, though. Honestly, like I had some that I knew that were going to be up there, but you know, like there's some stuff that missed my list that I really wanted to throw in there. I know people. What's that?
Honorable mention to Prey.
Yeah, well, I still haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it was so good.
I want to watch it. I
You
just
have
like
to watch
Watch it in the native tongue
Best.
with the subtitles.
I'll watch it the other way and then go back and
No,
watch it.
you're gonna lose it. Then you're gonna lose it.
I started about 5-10 minutes in with the English, and then I was like, no, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not buying it.
Best Predator movie ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've heard it's the best Predator movie from a lot of people. That's why I want to wait to watch it till I've got time to dedicate to it. Those movies don't bother me. I don't find those as horror movies at all.
Thrillers.
Yeah, at most. Lethal Weapon 4. I know a lot of people weren't big fans of that one. That's one that I almost put on my list because I really like the Lethal Weapon movie.
Who's in that?
Okay.
The only one but I've watched it recently, and it's really fucking racist to Asians. Like, I mean, there are Mel Gibson makes so many different Chinese slurs throughout the entire
Not Mel.
Right? I'm just like, oh my God. But it's a really, it's a good movie. I really enjoy that movie. I like a lot of those.
That's not the kind of thing you say out loud. That's the kind of thing you leave on people's answering machines.
Right. Especially if they're one of your exes that can use it against you. Not smart, Mel. Also, Die Hard. Die Hard 2 was okay. Die Hard 3 with Samuel L. Jackson. People, I love that one. It's pretty fucked up too.
It's probably my most watched one. I love 1 and 2, but 3 is.
Yeah. I like 3 and 4. I like the one with Justin Long.
Yeah,
he's like,
good.
Oh my God, you just shot that helicopter with your car. He's like, I ran out of bullets. How ridiculous is that? So many great sequels that we've seen over the years that didn't make my list. Because I had to go with rewatchability and overall kind of cinematic importance, I think. Here, what do we got? Blumhouse Rules. Yes, we knew. It's fried rice, you prick. It's fried rice, you prick. Because he kept saying fried lice or fried lice.
Yeah.
It's so bad. All right, let me start off with my list. I'm going to start off with my number 5. And I picked this movie because I really do dig. I thought this sequel was better than part 1. And I'm really hoping we're going to get a part 3 very soon because it's been long enough that we get Beatrix's little daughter meeting up with Vivica Fox's daughter in a Kill Bill 3. Because if you remember, in Kill Bill, was it Kill Bill 2 that she fought Vivica Fox or part 1?
I got to admit, these were not a big. I was not a big fan of these Quentin Tarantino movies.
I love the Kill Bill.
I've seen them both one time, and that was it.
Oh wow, I really love these movies. What I liked is, I think it's part 1 though. She kills Vivica A. Fox in front of Vivica A. Fox's daughter, and she tells her daughter, "If you want revenge, come find me one day, and I'll, let that happen." So I think that would be a good, premise for part 3. Part 2 with oh my God, how do you say his name? David Carradine.
Oh, David Carradine.
Not Keith, that's his brother. David Carradine, that speech that he gives about Superman and Clark when they're sitting down, and just the overall movie itself, I thought was really good. And I just dug it a lot. So it made number 5 on my list, whether Facebook user likes it or not.
My super ex-girlfriend's better.
No, it really is not.
I'm kidding. It's not.
No, you're not kidding. Aliens was epic. Aliens was another one that almost made my list. But number 4 on my list, my favorite of the entire franchise. This is the one that got me into it. I know a lot of people go with the first one, but I was a little young when Raiders of the Lost Ark came out. I did watch it, but I think I watched Temple of the Doom first. I remember going to watch that at the Seaway Mall theater with my big brother at the time, from the Big Brothers Association, and we walked home afterwards and picked up sticks and were sword fighting. Like I have so many great memories about this movie. Short Round, you cheat, Dr. Jones, you cheat. You know, the monkey brains, Kalima. Like such a good movie. And to me, it is the quintessential Indiana Jones movie, right next to Kingdom of the Skulls.
This is the one that I had on my list and moved it to include a few TV shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got you, buddy. I had your back. Short Circuit 2. Not bad, but Short Circuit 1 was a lot better. Like Short Circuit 2 didn't have Steve Guttenberg, and you know, you lose the Goot, you lose it all. Look at Police Academy 4. Went downhill right after you got rid of Goot. And you threw in that other replace. It's like when you had the replacement Dukes. Nobody liked those cousins. And where did those cousins come from? And why did they wear the same clothes that Luke and Bo
They don't have the same car.
They wore the same clothes, though. Like,
it's just like
I think they were cloning, or as they call back down south, inbreeding. I'm kidding. We love our friends to the south.
We do.
We do.
That's where I am right now.
Right. We won't be going there anytime soon. My next movie, I'm sure a lot of people were expecting to see a lot more superhero stuff on my list. But to me, there's only been one really, really great sequel in superhero movies. And no, it's not Logan. To me, it is X2, X-Men 2. This was the one with Nightcrawler in it, and they had Iceman, and this is where, you know, they overtake the mansion, and the one and only time we actually see Hugh Jackman go into an actual berserker rage. Like, that's the best Wolverine I've seen him do so far. So for me, I really like that movie, and I put it up there. Now, this next one I put on, I wasn't a fan of the original movie. I'd seen it, just didn't really care for it at all. But I watched this one because I become a fan of this guy as an actor in his later years, not so much as him as a person. But this movie, I love this movie, and I'm not the only one. It is quickly becoming one of the most watched movies and highest grossing movies of all time, and that is Steve's favorite, Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick. Steve, how many times have you watched this movie?
He's just so dreamy.
Yeah,
I've never seen the first one,
Thunder,
so obviously I've never seen the second one because I'd be lost.
Yeah. No, I mean, not really. Not really. You don't know. Dude, did you watch Iron Eagle?
I did not.
With Louis Gossett Jr. and that
Okay, probably once. Probably
yeah.
at least once, yeah.
Yeah, same movie. This is like, think of it as a sequel to that. I mean, all the flyby movies. They were all kind of the same back then, you know. But this one was really good. I mean, if you watch the original, I mean, it had so many shout outs and call outs to the original. Then having Val Kilmer back in this movie and knowing his health and him not being able to talk, and then they digitally remade his voice and he just basically lip sunk to it, was great. Jennifer Connelly's in it too, and she's just a great actress in everything she does. And I was surprised. I like Miles Teller in this movie. I mean, I like him. I think he's a good actor, but I think he always plays a dick in almost everything. So I really liked it. And Luke says Iron Eagle was brilliant, and you are absolutely correct, sir. It was.
I saw Black Eagle with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Never heard of it.
And Bolo Young.
Oh, well, there's a shock.
Right.
Well, hey, I'm just happy. We have
a question from the audience.
What's the question?
Okay, it's for Ryan. Because you like the superhero stuff and all that. I don't know what
Yeah,
Underworld.
this is a geek show, so yeah, we kind of like
Listen, I don't know what. I'm not quite sure what Underworld kind of is, but did you watch Underworld at all?
Underworld.
Kate
Like
Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. I watched the first one just because she's like.
Okay, so forget that because they weren't great as from what I could see. Whatever. Okay, did you watch Jolt? Because that was awesome.
Jolt. Yeah, it was a
They
Prime
need to make a
exclusive.
sequel of that. That would be great. You need to
Kate
watch Jolt.
Beckinsale. Yeah, it's kind of what's the movie I'm trying to think of with Scarlett Johansson? It's kind of like that.
Oh, the one where she's got the super brain. Yeah, that was.
No, it's good though.
It was good. It was pretty good.
She was pretty good. She kicked ass and she was hot, so it's really good.
Yeah. Well, no,
You need to make a sequel.
Check and check.
She's absolutely gorgeous.
I just think it outdoes Underworld. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I totally see where that's relevant.
And I also have to say, Ryan, that
I can say this because I'm not at your house.
of Tom Cruise is Tropic Thunder. No, I don't want to be on here.
Oh,
Yeah. Are you sure?
Tom Cruise, Tropic Thunder, that character, recreate him. That would be great.
They are. Tom Cruise.
you're very confusing right now.
Amber. Tom Cruise has already said that he's working on a Les Grossman movie. Like,
that's his best character as far as I'm concerned.
not Les Grossman. Les Grossman's from WKRP in Cincinnati.
Right.
Les Nessman.
Les Nessman.
Oh no, it is Les Grossman. Les Nessman's WKRP. Yeah. All right. So we haven't gone off the rails at all, but. And then my number one movie, what I think is the best sequel ever made in any movie, any franchise, and this should have been the last movie in this franchise, and that was James Cameron's Terminator 2. Quite simply, maybe the most perfect sci-fi movie ever made. I don't know, could just be me, but I think the story was great, the acting was fantastic. The special effects for the time were great. And they still kind of hold up today. And like I said, they put the perfect ending in that movie. And that movie was a long movie. And it seems like it goes by so quick.
So I just watched that Brian Bosworth documentary.
Right.
And the Boz actually had the role as the T-2000 or T-1000, whatever it was.
The T-3000, the one that Robert Patrick plays?
But he injured his ankle and he wasn't able to run. And the director's like, well, I kind of need you to run. Like, that's kind of the role, right? Like, and it ended up going to Robert Patrick. Yeah.
What a vast difference that is from Robert Patrick's body type to what Boz is or was, at least back then. Yeah. That's insane. Poor Boz, man. But, I mean, worked out great for Robert Patrick. And I think sometimes that stuff is, for the best.
No, it's like the Predator movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Whoa, right? Did you see the outfit? Did you see the original Predator outfit that he was wearing? Looked like some kind of lizard. Like, oh. Anyways, yeah. So that's both our lists. We had some honorable mentions there as well that we said. But what do you guys think? What are your all-time favorite sequels or prequels to
Rush
anything?
Hours, they're awesome.
Yeah, whatever you said. But yeah, all right. So Security. Get them in here right now. How much has she had to drink already? Apparently, Robert Patrick had to slow down as he was too fast for the camera first. Might be true. I don't know. Maybe. I know they used to say that about Bruce Lee. They used to have to slow down the camera so they could actually see him kicking because he kicked so quickly.
Like Jackie Chan.
Wait, what?
You made this way more racist than I was trying. I was doing the T-1000. You're like Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
I'm responding to what Brian said. They had to slow down the camera because they've heard that about
Security.
Jackie Chan.
Oh, I've never heard that about Jackie Chan.
Ryan, not you.
And that just reminds us that this show is brought to you by Clanny Shark. When you just can't get across that racist feeling that you want without go to Clan Shark. Clanny, he's your man. Is he? I don't know. We don't really know what it is. Speaking of sponsors, it is almost time for Steve to give us his 5-second movie review. Oh my Lord! And what happened there? We are the worst, or maybe I. But there we go. Hey, Look at that, just above Steve's shoulder, as you will see, folks. Listen, if you are looking to save some money, everybody is. Inflation's through the roof. Gas prices are dropping just a little bit, but remember, they're still way higher than what they were before. You're still paying a lot. You
I pay $3,000 a month for this place.
Right? That's what I'm saying. You need to save money, and you need to do what Steve and I do to save money. We cut the cost over at the big name internet places. We're like, yo, we can't pay those prices just for something that everybody deserves, but we don't want to sacrifice service either. So what do? We go over and we give Tony a call over at DocNet. DocNet.ca. They've got you covered for all your internet and home phone needs here in Ontario and Quebec and throughout different parts of Canada. If you want to find out if DocNet is available where you are in Canada, go over to DocNet.ca and talk to Tony. Let him know that RatG TV sent you, and have DocNet connect your home to the world today. It was almost like that was written. We should just tape that one. I'm just saying that was a good one. It was almost as if I work in radio every day and hear people do that every day. Clanny comes from a good place, never a racist place. That's what they said about Trump. Superman 2 was a good sequel. 3 and 4 were forgettable. I low-key loved Superman 3.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how bad it is, but I was a kid when it came out, so I loved how silly it was. And I love Richard Pryor, especially back then. And it was so weird to be able to see Richard Pryor in something where he wasn't swearing. So I dug it, you know. And I wasn't huge into comic books at that point. So, you know, any kind of leeway they took with characters didn't bother me at all. I'll record your darknet speech. It'll be
right here from RatG Radio, aka Ryan and that guy.
Hey, that's me.
Yes, that's Steve. Join us every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern as we discuss the latest in pop culture news here on 103.7 FM.
Whoa.
University Radio.
Where the hell did you find that?
That's old.
Where'd you find that?
Oh, it is cloud.
I had some old emails I was deleting.
Wow.
Found that a little bit.
And you didn't delete it.
I did not.
Good. You're going to have to send that one to me. All right. Well, Steve, what do you say? It's that time. This the time that happens once a week, every week, that everybody looks forward to. It's time for Steve's 5-second movie review by Steve. Yeah. There's your face. What the hell is... She is not getting on the payroll. I'm just telling you right now.
I mean, if you're going to interrupt the whole show, I might as well get the extra jazz hands.
Like, really? You might as well just get an extra camera.
I will know. And if there already is, forgive me, but I loved Ant-Man. Are they making a sequel?
There is.
They'll be making a third.
Is that the sequel?
There's already been a sequel. This will be the third one. They got a third one.
That was a sequel? Okay, cool. That's all I want to know.
There'll be a third coming up soon.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I know, and always at the most germane time. Like, it's always like, you know what? You know what makes total sense with what you guys are talking about right now? Something that has absolutely nothing to do with what you guys are talking about right now. What a great segue. I'm just so happy I haven't been drinking today because I'm actually holding back. No. I'm kidding. All right, Steve, it is your 5-second movie review. This week you are reviewing the movie Black Phone starring Ethan Hawke. For those that don't know what we do here with Steve's 5-second movie review, is Steve takes a movie, as we just spoke of, Black Phone, and he gives us his honest review of said movie in 5 seconds. So, Steve, what can you tell us quickly about this movie before you give us the review?
I watched the trailer for this movie, and I hate. I don't know why I continue to watch them. I hate trailers. I do. I really hate trailers.
Fair.
For one, sometimes they give the shit away that I just didn't want to see or didn't want to know. I know sometimes they play with us in trailers, but just not really a fan. And I watched this one and I was like, not for me. And didn't realize that there was kind of a paranormal element to this movie, which, again, as far as horror movies go, love horror movies. Not a huge fan of the paranormal stuff.
Right.
Ethan Hawke, usually great in everything. So I gave this one a go.
All right. Well, it sounds like you got a good review on your way here, or a good thought of what you think of it. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to put 5 seconds on the board. Sir, your 5 seconds are on the board. You may begin now.
Hold on a sec. I know. It's awesome, right? All right. I got to go. I'm doing the show. All right. Bye.
So are you saying you just phoned it in?
A little bit.
All right.
I had something better like 4 weeks ago.
And you
I
forgot.
couldn't remember it.
Yeah. All right. So what did you think? I can't tell by that review. Was this a?
I love this movie. Early pick for movie of the year for me, across the board, across all genres.
Wow.
I can't say enough good things about this movie.
So what stands out for you in this movie so much? Like you said, you're not usually a big fan of supernatural movies, but this one definitely has its roots in supernatural.
You know, I've watched some really, really messed up stuff.
Yeah, you like the Human Centipede.
So it's hard to get me, you know, the jump scares. Obviously, sometimes, you know, that's just body
reaction,
right? But to actually freak me out or creep me out, it takes quite a bit. And this movie had elements of that, and it was it was intense.
Now, is this a movie that, like, when was the last time you watched a movie that you had a hard time going to sleep after? Has that ever happened to you? And is this one of those movies or close to it?
Yeah, I mean, I probably have to go back to childhood actually, as far as going to sleep afterwards. But as far as, you know, maybe getting up and moving about the house after a movie, you know, 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, it's hard to get to me, and that movie it did it in small doses, but at this stage, you know, that's hard to do, and to me, I think that really stands out as far as how well this movie was written, the cinematography, just the acting. I mean, I don't have the young lady's name, but the 2 young actors in the movie, brother and sister, both phenomenal. The young actress, unbelievable.
Really? Well, that's great, man. All right, so what are you giving this out of 5? What's your score? It gets the 5. Have you given 5s before?
I think I've given about 3 5s, 2 or 3 5s.
Wow, and Black Phone is up there, folks. Wow, the uber rare 5 out of 5 for Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke and some kids that Steve failed to remember. You're such a jerk. But Black Phone, and this is out on DVD or out on streaming already, or
I believe so. Yeah, it came out about a month or 2 ago. So
Luke says 5. Fuck, I'm gonna rent it. Well, there you go. There you go. Glad to hear it. Now you know what? It's hard to go from
Madeline McGraw
is the name of.
I wanted to make sure I got her name.
One of the kids?
And Mason Thames was the brother.
And the director?
I believe it was Dan. It was Dan Trachtenberg from the Cloverfield series. He did the one with John Goodman, I think.
Not sure. Oh,
Scott Deckerson. Trachtenberg was Prey, sorry.
Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson? Yeah, he was supposed to be the original director of the first Doctor Strange movie. Okay. And then I think him and Marvel had a parting of ways because I don't think or maybe he did direct the first Doctor Strange. I don't know. I have to go back and check though. But yeah, that's pretty dope. Well, I tell you what, we got the movie review in, we got the sponsor in. we got Fan Expo in. I think it's time. The only thing left for us to do is to get to some news. It's news time. It's news. Oh wait, I forgot. Our news always starts off a little rough because it's the time where we go from happy-go-lucky guys to one of us becomes the Grim Reaper of Hollywood souls. Welland Wingnut. Starting us off this week. I mean, we've been gone for a few weeks. There's been a lot of deaths over the last month or so. So
yeah, we lost Ann Heche in an unfortunate car accident a few weeks ago. One I think we had to mention.
Yeah. But what else you got? Well, more recently,
if you were a kid in the 90s or a teenager in the 90s or hell, even a mid-20s or 30-something in the 90s, you watched 90210 in some capacity, whether it was at a friend's house because they were watching it or
you secretly just watched it and told everybody you did.
Right. Like an episode of Seinfeld where they were talking about it. He did the lie detector test to see if he watched Melrose Place.
Right.
Yeah. Joe E. Tata, who played Nat on 90210, passed away. You also remember him from the Batman TV show. He was in Magnum PI, Rockford Files, just a ton of stuff. But best known as Nat for the 90210, is the owner of the Peach Pit, the local hangout for the kids.
Yep. Their answer to Saved by the Bell is the Max.
Ian Ziering spoke out and said that he was as generous with his wisdom as he was with his kindness. So,
well, that's good to hear. It's sad to see. I don't really know him from too much. Like on Batman, I don't remember. I watched Beverly Hills 90210 for a few seasons.
At least a few seasons, right?
I didn't watch it all the way through though, because it did get to be that whole like they were the precursor to the CW shows, the teenage stuff. But like I did watch that, and I think I even watched like the first season or two of Melrose. Like
that was just that time in my life where I wasn't around a TV a lot unless sports were on.
Yeah.
The only thing I set my VCR to every week was Sunday nights, 9:00 for Married with Children.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. So that's it for the deaths, eh?
Yeah, but we want to wish our best to Jane Fonda, who just announced that she's been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So
yeah, all the best. And she's what, almost in her 80s now?
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah. She's lived a great life, though. I mean, how many times has she been arrested for protesting, for social issues and, married to billionaires and protesting against the men she's married to, a lot of the times, or some of the businesses that they would do. She is definitely a woman of class and dignity, so, and yeah, wishing her the best, gotta say. All right. Going from that, who else I always wish the best? From our youth, I don't think there was a bigger comedian in our time than Eddie Murphy. No. I mean, Saturday Night Live, the stand-up specials, Coming to America, the Saturday Night Live Eddie Murphy special itself was huge. But then there was this movie franchise that was supposed to go to Stallone, and he turned it down because he didn't want to do another action movie. Then it went to Schwarzenegger, and he turned it down. And somehow it got into the hands of a 19-year-old Eddie Murphy, I think at the time, 19, 20 years old. And that was, of course, the great Beverly Hills Cop. 1 and 2, great movies. 3, we don't talk about.
I love Wally World. No, not Wally World. Dave's World.
Yeah, just so wrong. But we got Pierce Brosnan back in that, or not Brosnan, Bronson Pinchot. Wow, that was messed up. But we are getting a part 4, and it is got a new name, Beverly Hills Cop 4 Axel F. It will be called. We got our first look of Eddie Murphy on set, and we can see he's donning the classic Detroit Lions jacket from back in the day. I love it. They've added a couple new actors on it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I forget the actress's name. I had it written down, but lost it. But I like that they've added these two big kind of powerhouse names to this, and I've heard that it's going to be closer to the first movie, where comedy is going to be second. Comedy is just going to be off of like basically improv that Eddie Murphy does. Like, here's the script, and then you might want to add a little something to it. But I think that's the Beverly Hills Cop we need. We do not need more of part 3. We really don't. And as much as we love Coming to America, and it was great seeing Coming to America 2, we don't need that either. We need a little bit more than Coming to America 2. So, what do you think? What do you like?
I always like these movies. I was a bigger fan of these movies than I was another 48 Hours or 48 Hours.
Really?
I like those movies too, but Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley was just such a great character.
For sure. Absolutely agree. I forgot about 48 Hours. That was a great one as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we need part 3 because there was
complete the trilogy.
I'm saying if you get 2 movies, you do 3. If you do a 4th one, you're greedy, and then you have to do 2 more after that. Everything's in 3s. I'm sorry, it's Hollywood. Entertainment, all is in 3s, and you have to do your sequels. Like, it's like trying to do like just one Kevin Smith movie. You can't. We're getting a Clerks 3. We're gonna have a Mallrats 3. Like, there's more sequels than just that coming from him.
Yeah, he announced that his next movie already is going to be a movie called 430. 430.
Surprised it wasn't 420.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is just after 430, right? So, or after 420. But yeah, Justin Long kind of broke some news saying that he's been talking to Kevin Smith about making Tusk 2.
Which I've never seen Tusk. You've seen it.
Yeah. Did you see Red State?
No. And I keep meaning to, because a lot of people tell me that is Kevin Smith's best movie.
Best movie. Absolutely. Bar none. His best movie, Red State, for sure. So we were told by Kevin Smith a while back that these movies were going to be part of a Great North trilogy.
Yeah.
The first one being Tusk, the second one being Yoga Hosers, the next one being a little movie called Moose Jaws, which is exactly what you think it is. It takes place in the Alberta wilderness, and it's Jaws with a moose.
Which, those of us that live in Canada, I mean, the only thing scarier than that is cobra chickens.
Right. Like, so I don't know. Like, is Tusk 2? Is this going to be the third movie in the Great North trilogy? Like, are we not getting Moose Jaws now?
Maybe, is it going to be a trilogy, or is it going to be 3 movies that get trilogies? A trilogy of trilogies, if you will. Because if you think about The View Askew, we've got Clerks, and we got 3 of them. We've got 3 Jay and Silent Bob movies. We're working on a second Mallrats, and maybe get a third one after that. Could we get 3 Tusk movies, 3 Moose Jaw movies, and 3 Yoga Hoser movies? I mean, God, I hope not.
We love you, Harley.
We love you, Kev. Yeah.
This was the one thing that I had forgotten to ask when I met him for the autograph, which I just, I couldn't be happier with what Kevin wrote. I love you, Kevin Smith.
Oh.
And, I'm a big fan of Tusk. So I'm all for this movie, but I need me some Moose Jaws, man. Don't tease Moose Jaws.
Getting back to Smith, how cool. So I listen to all his podcasts. I think you do too, or at least some of them. And he's out during this whole COVID pandemic. He's always talked about masking up and being careful. And he even talked on one of his most recent ones before he came to Canada about, you know, being at cons and being around all these people and, you know, a little worried about, you know, contracting something. Dude gave every single person that came in through, that we've seen at least, including us, that came in for a photo op, he gave a hug. We got two, or at least I got two. And I think Muse hugged us too. Like it was great. Harley was in the room with us, and seriously, what a good dude.
Yeah. When I thought about it afterwards, I thought, you know, like when I got the autograph, he did have his own little booth where, you know, he was enclosed. You kind of had to come through a curtain.
Yeah.
But shook everybody's hand on the way in, shook everybody's hand on the way out. So I thought maybe, you know, I guess a hug is, you know, there's no hand contact, so it's a little maybe better.
Maybe,
you know,
I don't know.
Meeting a bunch of people, I guess.
Either way, I just thought it was super cool overall, man.
No, he's one guy who knows where his bread is buttered, and it's his fans, and he treats them as such.
Absolutely. Now somebody else who's got a lot of fans. I generally am not a huge fan of this director. At least of his work. I shouldn't say of the person because I don't know him as a person at all. But I'm not listen, there was a lot of hype about Looper. Couldn't get into Looper. I found it kind of boring, honestly. And then there was all this hype about did he do Blade Runner 2049 as well?
I don't remember if he was in that or not.
If he directed it. But I'm talking about Rian Johnson.
Oh, Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson has confirmed that his Star Wars trilogy is still in development with Disney. Rian Johnson, who directed The Last Jedi out of the sequels. Here was my problem with The Last Jedi. My biggest problem with that movie is he had a clear idea what he wanted the sequels to be, the three of them. And it was clearly different than what JJ had. And JJ already put out the first movie. Had Ryan put out the first movie, then I'm all for him doing his three movies the way he wants. But the fact that he was just basically like, yo, that last movie just came out, fuck that, and everything they said there. Fuck Ray, fuck everything. And it just made a joke of everything. And don't get me started on the zombie fucking space walking Leia. Fuck off. What was with the fucking casino? Why did we even need that? Why did we need that? Why? I would have rather just fucking watched Solo a million times. I'm sorry, I know you like Solo. But Solo is a fucking 10 times better movie for me than Last Jedi. I think you like all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, no. So Solo, I've admitted I was someone who, from the very idea of that movie and someone else playing a young Han Solo, I shat all over that movie, and I absolutely loved it. I was so disappointed when I found out, or realized we were not going to get the sequel that we were set up for.
Yeah. Yeah, and not only that, they talked about doing a series on Disney Plus, and that got scrapped.
Yeah.
Luke says, "Got to agree. The Last Jedi made 0 sense. Unbelievable." And it's so hard to say something like that about a science fiction show where you got these space priests that use the Force and fucking lightsabers, and fucking little talking green dudes that fucking
and Yoda.
Yeah, and Yoda. Like not just Greedo. But yeah, it was unbelievable within the unbelievable universe that we're watching and that we're accustomed to. But it was unbelievable in the ways of, okay, now Luke Skywalker just became a dickhead for no reason out of nowhere.
I couldn't like that part.
Well, I'm not shocked.
Because I didn't see it coming. That is one thing I did not see coming. So I was like, okay, we're doing this.
Throws away the lightsaber, drinking that fucking milk right out of the tin of whatever the fuck that was. Like, don't you got to pasteurize that shit a little bit, Mark? I mean, Luke, or use the Force, separate that shit. Yes, pleasantly surprised by Solo. I actually enjoyed it, but Rogue One still rules. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think here's my thing. I think because we're kind of on a tangent here. I think Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie made, but it's not one that I could rewatch just because it's so tough to watch. It's like the movie Seven, and I've watched the movie Seven a lot of times, but you can only watch it so many times though, because that movie's so fucked up and it's so well done that you get so enthralled in those characters. By the time it comes to the end with John Doe and what's in the box, you're broken again, and it's hard to go through that again when you know it's The Departed. Have you seen The Departed? That's that movie for me. That's one of the greatest movies I think's ever been made. I think that is a better gangster movie than the fucking Godfather and Godfather 2, which I think are both overrated. Send your hate mail to wellandwingnut@gmail.com. But The Departed, though, it's one of those movies. It's just like, oh my God, like I know it's going to happen. I can't put myself through this again. And that is Rogue One for me. But I still think it's, even with all that said, even though I'm saying it doesn't have the rewatchability for me, I still think it's the best out of all the Star Wars movies made so far. Do you got a fave?
It's hard for me to pick a fave. I would say my top three in no order would be Rogue One, The Revenge of the Sith, and honestly, it's I want to say Empire,
Right.
but Force Awakens is right there on its coattails.
Oh, well, I'm so happy you said that, dude. Like, seriously. I think Force Awakens is such a criminally underrated. Force Awakens came out at a time. So the prequel, listen, I blame a lot of, like, there's an automatic hate for movies and shit before they come out from a lot of non-fans or people that are just looking to jump on the bandwagon and hate something like other people. And I will take full responsibility for our generation shitting on the prequels when they came out. But to be fair, we went into them wanting to love them. We didn't go into them saying, yo, this is going to be woke bullshit or anything like that. Like, we went in, we watched it. Some people like you loved them, but the large majority of the public hated those fucking prequels because it wasn't what we were used to or what we grew up on. But so I'm finding that, yeah, but I'm finding that now with the sequels, it's the same deal. And we've talked about this before. The people who love the prequels are hating on the sequels. But that Force Awakens, that was straight up A New Hope.
Yeah.
Like they re-gave us A New Hope, and they were passing the torch on to a new set of characters. But fuck, man, people Jar Jar Binks and fucking Anakin Skywalkered the shit out of this movie to the point where Johnny Boyega is like,
understand how a company like Disney could not have had that mapped out going in. I don't understand.
Right? How do you have two different visionary ideas for the sequels though? How do you have Rian Johnson and fucking JJ? And then even if you're gonna have Rian Johnson in the middle, it has to be JJ's vision. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And like I said, had Ryan been the first, then it should have been his vision all the way through. Like, that's the way it should go with fucking trilogies. And they should stay true to the heart of the originals.
Last Jedi for me, it's not near the top of my list, but I in no way hated it. And I think part of that is because it really is. When I go see a Star Wars movie, I'm always at the midnight premieres.
Yeah.
I always have that feeling, and I'm just a kid again when I watch these movies, and there's just more to love than there is to hate.
And that's what it's supposed to be about, right? Like, that's me with the Marvel movies and TV shows, and everybody's all over them now. Like, oh, the hate for She-Hulk. And what I love about She-Hulk is, and I know you don't watch it yet.
I watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, what do you think? I guess a straight up comedy. It's
yeah. I mean, it's
I know it's not for everybody, for sure.
I did not like it, but
yeah,
I wasn't like I got to see more of this either. You know,
right?
I think a lot of that had to do with I'm just not familiar, and I think with more episodes that may come.
Well, yeah. And even the newest episode, like, they have huge spoilers cameo.
What, 3 or 4 in now?
3. in every episode, there's been cameos. Like, so we get the Incredible Hulk in the first one, and Titania at the very end. And these are all just comic book references. A lot of these you're not going to get. But for diehard comic book fans like me, like we got them. Second episode, we had the Abomination, and it was still Tim Roth from the Ed Norton original Incredible Hulk, him reprising his role. We get Wong. We've at the end of this episode, I know you're not going to know who these are, but they fucking brought the Wrecking Crew in, who's like these adversaries of Thor, and they all stole Asgardian fucking weapons that, you know, one guy's got a fucking, what do you call it? The fucking wrecking ball. Another guy's got a fucking crowbar. They're the Wrecking Crew, right? Another guy's wearing a hard hat.
Yeah, I mean, also like 2 episodes is not enough for me to give a fair judgment of anything. I have a strict 3-episode rule, no matter how much I hate the first 2 episodes of any show. And I really like the first episode of She-Hulk. The second one,
Yeah, and I'm with you. I said the same thing. The second episode was really slow, but that was an episode for establishing her character and the storyline. Okay, so here's where she is. This is where she's working. This is what she had to go through. And then there you go. I love seeing Cousin Larry as her dad. Did you notice that in the second episode? That was fucking Larry, Cousin Larry from fucking Perfect Strangers is her dad. Yeah, so that I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he plays the neighbor in the American version of Ghosts, the TV show.
Yeah, I watch it. Yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah,
him and his wife. When I have to watch She-Hulk, Tim Roth is in it. Yeah, and if you watch Shang-Chi, like, I mean, they deal with stuff out of Shang-Chi as well, because the Abomination we see in Shang-Chi at the end, where him and Wong are fighting in a cage, and then at the very end of it, Wong opens one of his teleports, and we see him put Abomination back in a jail cell, and he talks to him about fighting and stuff, like how to be a better spar. It's hilarious. The third episode, I mean, Tim Roth is in his fucking glory, and if you didn't like Iron Man 3 and you didn't like Ben Kingsley's fake Mandarin, you might not like the direction Tim Roth is going in, because it's very similar to that. But it's funny as fuck. I liked it. And I just really love these Marvel movies for what they are. Like, we see a lot of people go on the page or even on all social media, and they're bitching about these Marvel shows, expecting them to be fucking Sopranos or Breaking Bad or Dexter or something really serious. These are fucking comic book TV shows aimed primarily at children and young adults. I just happen to fit into that category because I never gave up on any of that shit. Peter Pan syndrome, maybe. I don't know. But I watch them for what they are. And as a comic book fan, seeing Jen Walters be on there and fucking break the fourth wall like she does in the comic books is fucking great. Like in the third episode, there's one part where she's driving and she just takes her hands off the wheel and just looks right at the camera and starts talking while it's so ridiculous. But that's right. In the comic books, she would, like, I wish this is what she would do. In the comic books, she would yell at the fucking writers and the artists and shit. I wish she would be like, talk to the director and be like, can we cut this or something? Just because she's been doing that before Deadpool. So, yeah, that's what we need. Hello, Sonia. Seva. What? People complain on RatG TV on Facebook, right? And then Zeus goes off on them. You know,
just don't kill them.
I won't kill them. We'll save that for the serial killers on Netflix.
Right. Or eat them.
Whoa. And what else? No.
That took a dark turn.
Whoa. Yeah. Easy there.
Someone who is no stranger to playing dark roles, Evan Peters, will be playing Jeffrey Dahmer in the new Netflix special Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. We just got our first look at Evan Peters yesterday, as we see him playing one of the most prolific serial killers of our time. I think of all time. We were in high school during this whole thing, and it was just all over the news. These murders took place in Milwaukee. Just unbelievable. Like the stuff of Hollywood, really. I mean, it was messed up. And then
hearing the stuff afterwards, like what I think there was a story that came out that when he was convicted and sent to jail, they wanted to put him in PC, and he demanded to be put in Gen Pop because he knew he'd get killed there, and he got horrific.
He lasted a lot longer than I think a lot of people thought he would, but yeah, ultimately he was killed by a fellow inmate in the weight room. He had his skull crushed in by the weight. So
and then they do something with a broom to him as well. So I mean, the dude was sick. That's not excusing anything that he did, but he was sick. He knew it from all we could tell.
He did know it.
And he tried to fight those urges from all accounts from his family. But
one of the most I've seen so many documentaries and so many things on Jeffrey Dahmer, being the average white male that I am.
You should.
Yeah, there was a story where he had a mannequin. He stole this mannequin from a department store dumpster, and he would dress it up and he would sleep with it. And during that time, he didn't have these urges to go out and do these crimes and these sick things and almost satisfy. He really said that he was lonely, and he really just that's why he was trying to zombify his victims to some point, and obviously failed multiple times, and then the body count started to pile up. His grandmother found out about the mannequin, and what's wrong with you? You're sick in the head, blah blah blah. Took it, threw it away. It was not long after that he committed his next murder.
Man, just I don't even know. It's hard to even think of what to say about all that. But that what is I don't even want to like you said the white guy thing, but what is it with white guys and white girls watching these serial killers? Like what? And it's all and show me some other serial killers that weren't white.
Richard Ramirez.
Okay, and how many did he kill? How many?
The Atlanta child murderer, Wayne Williams.
I don't know that person at all. I know there was the
American gentleman.
There was the Washington or the DC sniper.
Snipers, yeah.
But they shot what, 2 people?
Yeah, I can't remember what the body count was there. Yeah,
it was cops, right? Not that makes it any better.
It was father son.
Yeah. But I mean, like Bundy, Dahmer, Bernardo, Gacy, all of them.
Forgot.
Yeah. You're not allowed over anymore. Good parents just don't understand. Our grandparents just don't understand, says Luke. Right. Going from one killer to another killer, if you will. I know you are a huge fan of the Hellraiser movies. You got to interview Doug Bradley himself. And Entertainment Weekly gave us our first look at the reboot or remake, if you will, of Hellraiser, and our first look at the new Pinhead. And Pinhead is played by a female this time, Jamie Clayton. Jamie Clayton taking over the role from Doug Bradley. What do you think of this first look?
I love it. I love the dead black eyes. I think she's got a great look. And for all the people that were hating on this, I think from the very idea of it, the original literature, the original Cenobites, they were androgynous, I think,
right?
Or even female, if I'm not wrong. So, I mean, if you don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, I'm going to give it a chance. Hellraiser is a franchise that I love, but definitely went downhill with every fucking sequel they made after 4, I think.
Which happens with a lot of movies. We said we could have done this as the worst sequels. Would have been a lot harder this week. Did you had the quote from Bradley, or you still have that, or no?
I don't have it exactly, but it was something like that he saw the Hellraiser franchise going in a very interesting direction.
Yeah, he said. I remember the quote pretty much. He sounded pretty positive though about it. Yeah, which is good. I mean, at least they're not killing off the dad. There's no dad on the show. I don't know. I'm just trying to segue somehow, but
Yeah, we did this story on the Goldbergs when this show, whatever season it was, ended last year. They digitally imprinted Jeff Garland into the final episode after allegations of misconduct and mistreatment of some female employees, verbal abuse, I guess it was. And he's going to be killed off. The first episode of Goldbergs is coming soon, the new fall season, and Jeff Garland will be killed off. Not shocked here, obviously.
No, not at all. You knew there was no reconciling this because he didn't have anything nice to say about them after leaving either, and of course, with just all the allegations, they're not going to go back to him either. So.
It definitely puts his appearance in the next season of Curb Your Enthusiasm if we get it. Probably the worst thing to happen to us since no more OJ in Naked Gun movies.
Too soon. Hellraiser will be a good series. Let's be honest. If the series were a thing when we were young, we'd have had much better sequels, in my honest opinion. Yeah, probably. Damn. So yeah, Garland. So have you watched did you see the first Aquaman movie?
I did. With you.
Oh yeah, that's right. We went to go watch the premiere.
That's right.
And we were there. We saw King Orn was there, and Yaya Mamadou who played Black Manta. Yaya, and I apologize.
Patrick Wilson.
And Patrick Wilson, yeah. They were both there as well as the director. And but Yaya recently came out in an interview. Now, I've been told this has been taken out of context, but still, this being the clickbait world, this was the headline that IGN went with. And Aquaman 2-star Yaya calls acting in movies like Aquaman clown work. I mean, I get it. I get that but why? Why you're getting paid like a king to play a clown? You're doing the easiest acting of your career and making more money than you've ever made in probably a multitude of your projects put together.
Talking about big money, how did Patrick Wilson get $240 million for 5 years at age 34 with $160 million guaranteed from Denver? Wow.
Russell Wilson, you mean?
What did I say?
Patrick Wilson, because we're talking about Aquaman. I'm like,
wait. That would have been way more. I would have had way more of an argument there.
Yeah.
If Patrick Wilson that signed with the Broncos.
Yeah, but so what? He's the fourth highest paid quarterback now in the league.
He's fourth or fifth. Yeah,
it's fine. We knew he was going to Denver. He's declined in each of the last 3 years that he was with Seattle, but so is that team. So who knows? He could be in his prime. Yeah. He chose though to go to the most difficult division in all of football, the AFC West. You've got Justin Herbert and the fucking Chargers that are looking fucking phenomenal. You've got Patty Mahomes and KC. You've got Derek Carr, who I think is a fucking phenomenal quarterback because I've had him in my fantasy league for a couple of years, and he always puts up great numbers. Now he's got not Tyreek with him, but Devontae Adams playing with him. And then who's the other team in the West that we're missing?
Jacksonville?
No, Jacksonville's not there. The Raiders, the Broncos, KC, and the Chargers are the 4 teams. And, I mean, that's a quarterback-heavy fucking division. So, I mean, he's going to get his money, but Lamar Jackson's going to make more than him in probably a few days because he's been holding out, and they got to get it. He says if they don't have a deal done by day one, then he's not talking contract anymore. And Lamar Jackson represents himself. He doesn't have an agent. So saving that 15% on those $250 million contracts.
Yeah.
Not the best quote. Hopefully he was misquoted. Otherwise, I hope he never gets another acting job. Fuck, man, people are really struggling. Yeah, I think it was taken out of context, honestly. I think they were asking about it. But even out of context, that's still a bit of a shitty thing to say, like a clown acting. I mean, it's not like he's fucking acting in a Kid and Play movie.
No, because I mean when you got Martin Lawrence, you got Tisha Campbell,
You got Christopher Kid Robbins and
Christopher Reed and Mark Eastman.
Yes, those two. Yes.
There was 5 of these. No, there's 4 of these.
4. Yeah, I was gonna say
4.
5.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was a 4th one in 2013.
I don't think Martin Lawrence was in the 4th one though.
No, 2013. So it was 9 years removed from the last one.
Yeah. So what are you saying? We're getting another one?
We're getting a 5th movie. I mean, sure. Why not? In a world of remakes and reboots and
I know it's not possible, but I'd rather have the Bay-based kids too.
These guys had their own cartoon too. Do you remember in 1990 to 91 on NBC?
I was trying to forget. Thank you though. I like these movies, but I was young and dumb.
Right.
I don't think I would like them again if I was to watch them today. But they did give us Tisha Campbell. They gave us Martin Lawrence. They gave us Kid and Play, which spawned.
And I mean, Jonathan Witherspoon's no longer with us.
Oh, right. I don't know. I was thinking Jonathan.
He's in the Friday movies as well.
No, I know Pops in Boondocks. No, for some reason I was thinking Jonathan Winters, and I'm like, wait, what?
I loved Jonathan Winters.
Who didn't? It was when Mork and Mindy was finally starting to go down in the ratings, he boosted them right back up.
Yeah.
So I mean, all right, Kid and Play, you can have it, I guess. I'm assuming this is direct to DVD. Direct to DVD?
Probably.
Do people have house parties anymore?
I don't know.
I mean, all right, Kid and Play. You do your thing. We support you. I mean, not financially because I'm not paying to see it. But we wish you the best. Moving on. Namor actor who's playing Submariner Namor says he couldn't swim before joining Black Panther 2. I mean, seems like a skill you would really need for the guy playing the King of the Seven Seas, the King of Atlantis.
I mean, unless you're just going to be in front of a green screen the whole time.
Jason Momoa. Yeah, of course he's going to be. It's Marvel. That's what they do is green screen. Even so, I mean, you got to have some kind of swimming skills or look like you know how to swim.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some scenes that are going to be filmed, sure, on a green screen, but it's going to be in a pool. So, I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Black Panther 2, though. So we will wait and see. And I'm excited to see Namor come in. It just means more comic book shit's coming in that I grew up with that I love. So I'm happy to see that. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're having too much." I don't think so. Just stop watching. It's pretty easy. Too much, don't have to watch them.
Yeah.
If they make another Resident Evil movie, I'd be like,
yeah, people definitely stopped watching Resident Evil because Netflix has called it quits on Resident Evil and said that after one season, it's done. That's right, Ella Baliska. Sorry.
She looks shocked. Shocked, I say.
Yeah, she heard it first here. Well, maybe second.
I mean, well, that was only because she was dropping her resume off too soon.
Yeah, I watched the first couple episodes. I loved Welcome to Raccoon City. I didn't have high expectations for that movie, but being a fan of the original video game, which it was based on,
yeah,
it was like watching The Force Awakens. It was just nostalgia across the board, and I absolutely loved it. So nice. I think I had high hopes for this, and it failed. And
is this a continuation of Raccoon City?
No,
it's a standalone. Yeah, I don't like when they don't capitalize on the shit that works.
Right.
So, because I heard the same thing. A lot of people liked Raccoon City a lot. That was the Robbie Amell one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, It is what it is. You got another story up here and then me, I see.
Oh, yeah. House of Dragon premiered a couple weeks ago. Of course, the story of the Targaryens, I think 200 years removed from the story we just got about
Yeah,
these
2
seven
episodes
kingdoms. I watched the first 2 episodes. First episode, it was it was all right. But I get again, I have the 3-episode rule.
Yep.
Second episode, loved it.
Yeah.
From start to finish, loved it.
Nice. I stopped watching in the 4th season after the Red Wedding, so I just have no compunction, excuse me, if you will, to watch it. And it's sad because I love Matt Smith. I'm a big Doctor Who guy and loved him as the 11th Doctor. That's my favorite Doctor. But yeah, what about the Lord of the Rings TV show debuted on Amazon Prime?
I don't think we're allowed to talk about it.
Oh, how come?
Amazon actually shut down a bunch of comments about the Lord of the Rings TV series.
Was it that bad? Was it getting that bad reviews?
That's what I'm hearing.
Wow. Listen, so when I read the books when I was younger, my Uncle Rick is a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings. He had all the books.
He just started as a Zeppelin fan, and then
that's what it was. He was a Zeppelin fan. That's exactly what it is.
That's every guy in the 70s.
Yeah, man. And then became a big fan of Lord of the Rings. So I became a fan too. And then I was remember the Ralph Bilski? They did the Lord of the Rings cartoons, like from the
right.
70s. I remember those. Like I dug those because those were really close to the fucking books. So when the movies came out, I was still married at the time, and my ex-wife hated all that shit. And I'm like, we got to go watch this movie though, because I love Lord of the Rings, and I'm gonna love this. I fucking hated the first fucking movie, and she loved it. I fell asleep during it at the fucking theater. Like that's how much I didn't like it. But I did watch it again, and still wasn't for me. Watch the second one, same deal. Third one was good, but
I had the same take.
It went 45 minutes way too long. Like the movie ended, and then they're like, "Oh, here we go. Why are we in the shot? What is happening here?"
I kept waiting for Chuck Berry to just bust in and be like, "Oh, well, yes,
yeah." My God, like Kevin Smith nails it in Mallrats 2. Yeah, or not Mallrats, Clerks 2. With Randall talking about fucking how it's just 3 movies of fucking walking. Like I don't know how they take a book that is so fucking exciting from start to finish, or series of books, and make it into this fucking snore fest for 2 fucking movies. Like I didn't even watch any of the Hobbit movies because I was just like, fuck.
No, I haven't seen those. I did see the three Lord of the Rings movies. I had the exact same take you did. First 2, third one pretty good, too long. I saw this TikTok the other day, and it basically showed the comparisons between Harry Potter and Star Wars.
And it's just, yeah.
And I was like, God damn it.
JK just stole the entire fucking story from George. But George stole the story too. Well, he didn't steal the story, but his story is similar to something else I forget that we.
Well, what do they say? They say there's only really like 7 stories or
6 stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything comes from that. Yeah. Speaking of 6, Rick and Morty, do you watch?
I do. I'm not an avid watcher, but I watch it when I need something to laugh.
Well, nice. Season 6, I believe, is coming up next week. And the showrunner promises a new season every year. Rick and Morty showrunner promises a new season every year.
For how long?
I'm so happy I have to say that. I'd imagine as long as they're alive. But this is really big though, because there's a lot of times where there's years between seasons because it takes so long to film it, write it out, and they bring scientists on the show to make sure some of the shit is plausible, or it's based on real shit. And they have scientists that are actual writers on the show. So I'm happy about this, and I can't wait. It's right up there with my favorite. I have a lot of favorite cartoons right now, though, but it's up there. Fuck, seriously, though, I mean, Archer's so good. Harley Quinn's good. This season hasn't been the greatest, but it's pretty good. That was something else I had up there too and missed it somewhere. But Harley Quinn season 4 has also been announced by HBO Max and Discovery. James Gunn actually posted it and posted a reply to it saying that it was coming out, which is pretty dope, I think. And of course, he said that because he was in an episode of the Harley Quinn show this year, or a couple episodes. There you can see his profile picture is from that actual episode. But yeah, Kaylee Cuoco, who played Penny on The Big Bang Theory, does a great Harley Quinn, and people are loving it. So I'm hoping that because that's coming back, I'm hoping we're getting a new season of Young Justice as well. Buddy of ours, Jerome K. Moore.
I think as good as Kaylee is, I think she's not my first choice. I think I'd rather have Harley Quinn Smith. You know what I mean? She just went way closer to the project.
Right. Well, can she do the voice, though?
I don't know.
Can she pull it off? That's all I care about. She is amazing. Vanessa, how you doing? Thanks for joining in on the show. I think Kaylee's great at playing Harley Quinn. I think she's done a fantastic job. Steve, you're up next. What's the next story you got on tap there, buddy?
Video game lovers of horror movies from the 80s, people who just love cheese. You gotta, as soon as this show is over, you must go out and check out this trailer for this game coming out in early 2023. We are getting the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game. When MGM was acquired a few months ago, there was hope that, now they own a lot of these properties like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Poltergeist, a few others. There's Beetlejuice. There's hope for a new movie, and I don't know if we're getting the new movie yet, but I'll take the video game. This looks so fun.
Could ICP play them?
Maybe.
Shut up. No, you shut up. Yes, Killer Clowns from Space, the game. I'm down. I'm down like a clown.
It's almost like you didn't even write that. You heard it somewhere before.
Yeah, maybe somewhere. I don't know where. Anyways, okay. Moving on. You got the next story as well. Buddy.
Someone who's not clowning around, Ozzy Osbourne said he's moving back to the UK. We know that Ozzy's been struggling with Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
He basically came out. He was blunt about it, like Ozzy always is. He said he doesn't want to die here. Here being California, the States, which has been his home for over 20 years. He wants to go back home and roost, I guess, as they say. Which, good on him. Ozzy doesn't owe anybody anything.
Nope.
But yet he is still going to be performing to kick off this season of NFL football this Thursday, halftime of the Rams-Bills game. And we're getting another reality show about Ozzy moving back to the UK.
I mean, all right. I don't want him to die during it. I just really
right.
I don't want to watch it because they'll air it. It's the Osbournes.
I just got this feeling of he's gonna die like shortly after it's fucking finished production.
Can they just do like a? They're gonna do a crossover with Gene Simmons' family.
What do you think about Gene Simmons saying that Kiss is gonna live on with new members?
He said that?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's essentially a cover band or a tribute band at that point.
They might actually be better.
If they actually get people that can play. No disrespect to Ace Frehley or Peter Criss.
Or Bruce
Gillick.
Kirk or
Tommy Thayer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we're not.
You guys got my money way more times than you should have. So
way more times.
They always put up.
Like you guys, you guys suckered me into, not even me, you suckered me into talking my grandparents into buying that Kiss at Home fucking DVD. It wasn't even DVD, it was VHS at the time. It's like a mockumentary.
It was the Scooby Doo episode that got you.
No, that's what got my grandparents. A couple comments here. Ozzy owes the bat. He does.
Okay, maybe he owes the bat.
And he owes Nikki Sixx some fire ants. If you know, you know. Haha, I'd watch that crossover. Me too, right? What a great crossover. Gene and Ozzy. Both of them just Ozzy trying to figure out what's going on, and Gene just trying to fucking get merchandise from Ozzy. Yeah. I just trademarked the name Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I think that's it. There was something I was going to mention because we talked about, and I'm going through the stories here, and I don't see it, but no biggie. Oh, I was going to mention how much Justin Long looks like Anthony Kiedis here.
He does, right?
Like legit. I mean, I expecting him to start singing for Californication. Dream of Californication. What do you got going on this weekend, buddy? It's the long weekend. You doing anything?
Absolutely nothing.
Smarticle.
Yeah. No, it's a well-deserved rest after a very long 2 months expo. Started with Comic-Con in the falls and really ended for me last weekend with Fan Expo. I had something every weekend this year, this summer.
Well,
we got last time.
Nice. Well, I hope you enjoy the relaxation and doing absolutely nada.
Zombie Walk coming up if you are in the Welland or Niagara area, GTA possibly, because we get people from the GTA every year. Welland Zombie Walk, October 1st this year, Saturday. We've heard the requests. We have succumbed to your requests. We said that we've heard a lot of people say, why isn't it Saturday? Why isn't it Saturday? We come from so far away. And Saturday night, October 1st, Market Square this year. So we're going to have a nice big open space.
Nice.
Toadstool and the Ghouls, super group we've put together of the Undead going to be playing a live set. Or Undead set, I guess. We have Knight Rider coming. And just announced the other day, we have the return of the 89 Batmobile. And Batman himself, Brampton Batman, will be there.
Like it. Or as I like to refer to him, Black Man.
Don't forget your non-perishable food item, please. This is why we do it. This event's gotten bigger every year for the last 5 years or so.
And donations go up every year because fans been.
We need your help more than ever. Pets Alive Niagara, a great organization out of St. Catharines, run out of a couple people's houses that help displaced pets from as far as they've had dogs and cats from the hurricanes and stuff that they've helped find homes. So they do great work. And Hope Center. In downtown Welland. Great, another great organization. So
yeah, they do so much for the homeless and for people that are just down on their luck that just need some help getting through these tough times as of late. So great cause, October 1st, Welland, Ontario. Go look for the Welland Zombie Walk on
Market Square. You can find us off Division Street or off First Avenue. One or the other, or First Street.
Yeah. And for more information, go to Facebook and look up Welland Zombie Walk. Join the group, join the page, and you get all the notifications and everything you need to know at that point.
We got a ton of prizes already for best costumes. Best costumes, kid, under 12, teen, adult, group. Treat bags for the kids. It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah. So if you like to dress up, cosplay, any of that stuff, make sure you come down. Great cause. It is, as far as I know, it's Ontario's biggest zombie walk and longest running zombie walk that there is going in.
GTA quit a few years ago. They needed about 40,000 to put their event on when we couldn't do it anymore. I know I've kept track of the numbers over the last few years of the few existing zombie walks that we do still have. good numbers still coming in from a few places like Windsor and but yeah, we have been the biggest and this year we've gone bigger. So
go big or go home. No, don't go home. Come here. Come to the Wild Zombie Walk if you want. And when you come to these events, if you're a fan of this page or anything like that, and come say hi to Steve and I. We'll take pics with you. We'll talk with you. We'll see how
RatG TV will be emceeing the event as we do every year. So
yeah, man. It's always a great time, and we look forward to seeing the fans and a lot of people out there for a good cause. I think that's going to do it for the show, though. I have got to go pick up my son from work soon, so I don't want to be late for that. But aside from that, folks,
and I got cheeseburgers,
and he's got cheeseburgers he's got to eat. So I hope everybody has a very safe and happy Labor Day weekend. I am off until Tuesday, which I love. Well, Wingnut, it's your boy Zeus. From us to you. Love you guys. Hope you all have a very safe and great weekend.